Open ChatGPT right now. Type this exact sentence. What can you do? I'll wait. The answer you get back is impressive. Code, writing, math, research, analysis. Sounds amazing. And almost nobody uses it for any of that. Most people open ChatGPT, ask it one question, get a weird answer, close the tab and think, okay, that's not for me. I know because I did the same thing. And I was wrong. Not because ChatGPT is perfect, it's not. But because I was using it the way you use a calculator when what I actually had was a supercomputer. Today, I'm going to show you the real version. The one that 491,000 people found on a video so badly made it hurt to watch. Which tells me one thing, you want to know this. You just haven't found anyone who'll explain it without making you feel stupid. So here we go. Let's start with the most important thing nobody tells you. ChatGPT is not a search engine. Full stop. When you type best pizza in San Jose into ChatGPT, you are doing it wrong. Google that. ChatGPT doesn't know what opened last Tuesday. It doesn't have live information. What it has is something more valuable for most of what you actually need to do. It has the ability to think with you. Not for you, with you. There is a difference. And once you understand that difference, everything changes. Here is the first way most people use it wrong. They ask it one question and expect a perfect answer. That's not how it works. Think about the smartest person you know, the one you go to when you have a problem. You don't walk up to them and say one sentence and expect them to solve your entire life. You have a conversation. You give context. You say, here's the situation, here's what I've tried, here's what I'm worried about. That's how ChatGPT works. The more context you give it, the better it gets. So, next time you open it, don't ask one question. Tell it the whole story. Watch what happens. Here is the second thing people do wrong. They accept the first answer. ChatGPT's first answer is rarely its best answer. It's more like a first draft than a final product. If the answer isn't quite right, say so. That's close but too formal. Can you make it shorter? I don't understand the third point. Explain it differently. It doesn't get offended. It doesn't get tired. It just keeps going until you have what you need. Most people don't know this because nobody told them. Now let me show you what it's actually built for. Not what the ads say. What regular people actually use it for every single day and genuinely get value from. Number 1. Fixing your own writing. Not writing for you. Fixing what you already wrote. Here is how that works. You write an email. You read it back. Something feels off but you can't figure out what. Paste it into ChatGPT. Type, this sounds a bit aggressive. Can you rewrite it so it's firm but not confrontational? Or, this is too long. Keep the same meaning but cut it in half. Or, I'm writing to someone I've never met. Make this warmer. 5 seconds. Done. And it sounds like you, but better. That is what it's actually for. Number 2. Understanding things you're not supposed to understand. Your landlord sent you a lease clause. You don't know what it means. A lawyer would charge you $200 to explain it. Paste the clause into ChatGPT. Type, explain this to me in plain English. What am I actually agreeing to? It breaks it down. It tells you what the gotchas are. Every single time. Same with medical reports. Same with financial statements. Same with terms and conditions. That wall of legal text you scroll past and click I agree on. Paste it in. Ask what you're actually signing. You might be surprised. Number 3. Planning things that feel overwhelming. You have to have a difficult conversation with someone. You've been putting it off for 3 weeks. Tell ChatGPT the situation. Who the person is. What you need to say. What you're scared of happening. Ask it to help you plan the conversation. What to open with. How to handle pushback. What not to say. It doesn't judge you. It doesn't tell anyone. It just helps. That alone is worth an hour of therapy for a lot of people. Same with planning a career move. Same with figuring out how to ask for a raise. Same with writing a difficult message to a family member. ChatGPT is extraordinarily good at human situations. Most people never try it there. Number 4. And this is the one that surprises people most. Learning something you thought you were too old to learn. I had someone tell me recently they always wanted to understand how the stock market worked. But every time they tried to read about it, they got lost in jargon and gave up. They typed into ChatGPT, "Explain the stock market to me like I'm 12 years old." No jargon, just what's actually happening. They said it was the first time it made sense. Not because ChatGPT is magic. Because you can ask it to go slower. Ask it to use an example. Ask it to explain what a word means without making you feel stupid for not knowing. A teacher charges you money to do that. ChatGPT does it free. At 3 a.m. Without sighing. Now I want to talk about the things it's bad at. Because I said this was the honest version. Don't use ChatGPT for current events. It has a knowledge cutoff. Anything that happened recently, it might not know. Or worse, it might make something up. This is called hallucination. And it happens. Especially with specific facts. Dates, names, statistics. If it gives you a number, verify it. If it gives you a quote, verify it. Use it as a thinking partner, not as Wikipedia. Also, don't put anything into ChatGPT that you wouldn't want on the internet. Your passwords, your social security number, confidential work information. OpenAI's privacy policy has improved over time. But the safest habit is simple. If you would feel uncomfortable emailing it to a stranger, don't paste it into ChatGPT. Here is what I want you to actually do after you finish watching this. Open ChatGPT. Free account is fine. Find something in your life right now that feels complicated. An email you've been putting off, a document you don't understand, a decision you can't make. Tell ChatGPT about it. Not one sentence, the whole story. And then just see what happens. Because the gap between people who get value from AI and people who don't is not intelligence. It's not age. It's not how good you are with technology. It's whether you gave it enough context to actually help you. That's it. One change. More context. And ChatGPT becomes something genuinely useful in your life. Not every day. Not for everything. But for the right things. It's remarkable. And most people never find that out. Because nobody sat down and explained it without making them feel like they should already know. Now you do. Drop a comment. What's the first thing you're going to try it for? I genuinely want to know. Because the answers people give to that question are always surprising. And subscribe to Synth. Every week we take something complicated in the tech world and explain it simply. So you can actually use it. Not just hear about it.